Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another live. And we are talking about Coco Chanel. So uh, I don't know if we're doing this only to the excuse to use my Chanel jacket and the pearls, or beside that, I admired to death to Coco Chanel. How you doing, Elva? You wearing yours
Great.
too?
Yeah, I'm wearing two. Yeah, I'm great. I'm great. I didn't know too much about her, but now that I was researching and everything, wow, what woman was that? Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna address something before somebody say it. There were speculation about that she was spying for the Nazis and things like that.
Mm-hmm,
We're
hmm.
not gonna. Hi, Perry.
Hi, Barry.
Hi, Perry. We miss you. You see. We have our Chanel outfit put and all the pearls. Thank you, Perry, for being here like always. So we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about because again there are speculations. We wasn't there. We don't know what happened and how it happened. So we're gonna center on the amazing life of one of the women who came from nothing. We need to remember she was an orphan and she was dropped on an orphanage with her sister when she was really little, and she became one of the icons. And when people says, "Why are you talking about fashion and Coco Chanel when we're talking about Women's History Month?" Because Coco Chanel changed the way as women we are represent how we dress and how we regain freedom from clothing. Believe it or not, until Coco Chanel didn't get on the space, we were slave of our own clothing. The clothing need to look good, but doesn't matter how you feel regarding that. Actually, one of the phrases that Coco Chanel used is when she entered to the fashion world, she says, clothing are developing and are designed by men. They don't understand what are the needs of a woman and how a woman body moves. So it's time that a women enter on the fashion industry and make clothing for us. I'm gonna make clothing for women like me. So that was one of the revolutionary things. Beside that, we are addressing women who have done amazing things, none of them coming from neither family with money, neither coming from a place with money. All of them need to get the things done in a way they could, how they could. So my name is Susan Ivitz. I'm a human behavior hacker, and people hack computers. I hack humans, and I've been called last year the human polygraph, and I still use it because I know that some people get pissed off only for the term, but I found it funny. Back in the day, corset were literally a tool of oppression. Like, yes, like women use corset to the point that they break their ribs because the concept
Hmm.
is that like the Barbie body, that your hip
Yes.
and your waist need to be so small, like how you can breathe. I do have a corset that is part of a dress that I use usually when I'm going to the opera or the symphony. And what happened is like in the middle of I need to go to the bathroom and ask for someone on the bathroom, like, can you untie the corset because I cannot
Oh,
breathe. I cannot breathe. And I'm sorry, but the allergy changing season, I prefer to do this and not do breathe dripping. So my apologies. Allergies are happening. So Elba, introduce yourself, please.
hi, everyone. I am El Uribe. I'm a human behavior hacker too, and I am the CEO from Latin America.
And my business partner in crime. Are you ready? Let's start with Coco.
Oh, yeah. Let's go for it. Yes.
We're going to talk about Coco before Chanel, and that is one of the documentaries that I have in my Amazon Prime that I like to watch. It's not completely accurate, but it's kind of accurate. So, Coco Chanel, Women History Month. So let's go with the presentation. And I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to change a little my settings so I can better access to the monitor. Here we go. This is called life and rearranging things to do the things on the right way as possible. So starting April 2, sorry guys, we have reached an incommensurably number of training and students. And Wednesdays has become one of the days that we do training. So we realized that we don't want to cancel. For example, today we need to move the live 1 hour because we have a training. So instead to be changing, instead to changing all the time of the live, we prefer to do one when we can comply with that. So starting April 2, Fridays 4:05 p.m. we're going to still doing the live. We're going to be doing the live on in all our channels, and we have a bot who is just getting in. Yeah, we have a bot who just please don't pay attention. There are these bots that they get on your lives and they start promoting. We don't have any affiliation with this person. As soon as the live finish, I'm gonna erase their comments. So if you want to learn what we do in here, please be our guest and go to Human Behavior Hacker School. That's where all the webinars and all the classes and everything that we do is storage. And if you want to be part of the live webinar, beside yesterday, we did complicated personalities, and we talk about the IG Nobel Prize and the narcissist and eyebrows. And I have emails today and like, holy cow, I have so many people in my life that I'm going to erase from my Facebook, and I'm not going to be working anymore with them. Like, I hope we can serve you, teaching you and showing you studies that are out there relating to things that protect yourself. And we have Human Behavior Lab webinar if you want to participate on the next webinar. And I think I just crushed my pearl ring that I love so much. Yeah, it's not original. That's one of the things that Coco Chanel bring to the table. She stopped using original diamonds and pearls and says like, fakes look better.
Yeah.
So our next webinar is going to be Face Reading Intro 3. We're going to be talking about eyelids. This happened April the 6th, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please go to the link below, humanbehaviorlab.com/webinar, and that's where you can register. We're going to be talking about intimacy level, stress level, combination, and how we need to be approached dependent on the eyelids that we have. And we're going to learn how we need to be approaching others too. And please be our guest and register to our YouTube channel, so that way you never miss. Remember, you need to click the bell. I'm going to put it again so you see it. If I found the arrow, here we go. So this is our YouTube channel, and I know people sometimes complain that they cannot find it. So go to the YouTube channel. The best way is to subscribe. You're not going to be receiving emails. You're not going to be receiving anything. But when you hit the bell, they let you know when we are live. And we have Analu. Hi, Analu. How you doing? Hi, girls. And Perry, you have your own fan club. It's not fair. So we're going to talk about the classy and special Coco Chanel. So beside the face ring, one of the things that we want to do is to tell the story and things that people don't know. And I have a slide that I haven't shared with Elba, and it's a trick. Do not hate me. Please do not hate me. I just wanted to see if people can get what is going on. So one of the phrases that represent Coco Chanel the most was, in order to be replaceable, one must always be different. And I would say if something is significant in this company and everybody who work in this company is that we are irreplaceable. Why? Because everybody is so different. I would say it's near to the crazy, but that is not my problem. Talk to your therapist. So we're going to do a timeline. Gabrielle Chanel was born in Saumur, France in 1883. She was born with the name Coco, and we're going to talk how she ended up with the name Coco. Gabrielle opened a hat shop on Rue de Cambon in Paris and called it Chanel Modes on 1910. Actually, the first store that she opened was financed by her lover, Arthur Capel, who was the love of her life. He died in a car accident, and she never married. She never have heirs. She never married. She never have a steady relationship. And most of the historians says because Arthur Capel was the love of her life. When they met, he was about to get married. He followed with the marriage, and she followed him to Paris, and he put the money in 1910 to open her first store, who was a hat store. Coco introduced the little black dress, which is called by Vogue the fourth of dresses in 1926. Like every woman in the world need to have a black dress, and I have two closets full of them.
Have a
Black
dress.
never let you down. Fragrance number 5 became the world best-selling perfume in 1953. And we're going to talk about the perfume, and we're going to talk about the handbag. And I have a trivia for all of you, and let's see who got it. The 2.55 quilt icon bag is introduced in 1955. And I need to confess, the biggest splurge I did in my life was a quilt handbag from Chanel, done the same year I was born. That was my first Chanel handbag, done in 1972. Because all of them have a serial number, so I got a merchant who says like, you like to collect antiques and things that are different. I collect antique books and antiques. That's what my dad did when he was a diplomat. So it says, yes, well, I found a Chanel handbag that is going for auction. It's from 1972. It's not impeccable. Like, I don't care. It's the year I was born. So that was my first Chanel handbag. And I had it on the back, the special bag and the box. And I have it in a special place with a special climate. And sometimes I'm afraid to use it. I'm like, what the heck? I put a lot of money. I should be using it.
Yes.
Neiman Marcus named Chanel the most influential designer of the 20th century in 1957. Coco Chanel died in 1971, 1 year before I was born. Her last collection opens the Rage Review. Actually, people who know her says she died with a needle in one hand and a cigarette in the other one. She died working. The German designer Karl Lagerfeld joins the house and began working on the brand revival 12 years after Coco Chanel died in 1983. But the truth to be told is like, who was the perfect person to fill on the shoes of Coco Chanel? She was a revolutionary. So we're going to talk about the quilt handbag. Now, it's called the 255. Does anyone know why it's called the 255? And we have Perry saying, gotta embrace the little spark of madness. Oh, honey, you're in the right place. And he says, hi, Anne. How you doing? So anybody knows why it's called the 255?
The 255.
Yep.
No?
That is a trick. I didn't share it with anyone on the team, so sorry.
255.
I have a theory. Sometimes the more complex questions are answered by the most simple answers.
Yeah.
In February 1955, Chanel changed handbag history forever. She introduced the 255 quilt handbag with chain strap. For the first time, it was acceptable for a woman to carry a bag in their shoulder. The name 255 is based on the date of its creation, February 2, the second month of the year, and 55 for 1955.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And most people who spend a lot of money in Chanel, they don't know that either. Believe me, I know that because I remember sometimes I tell friends I never paid for drinks in bars. Why? Because I had trivias and things that people don't know about it. And sometimes even do when I see somebody wearing a Chanel handbag, like, do you know what is the name of that handbag? Like, no. That is the name. And Says, I bet you $20 that you don't know what is named that way. Uh, Nobody got it until now. So it's not too many people who knows that the reason. It was so simple. Chanel was Coco Chanel was a complex person, but not complicated.
No.
Now, one of the second things that she's well known is for Chanel number 5, and that is the evolution of the bottle that since 1921 that was introduced to the market to 1966, the bottle didn't change too much. Actually, if you're going to Neiman Marcus or I like to go to Harrods when I'm going to London, and you can go to Chanel and they have these big bottles. And I always ask the same, is really perfume inside? Like, yep. They have this big, yeah, their actions like, it's like a gallon of perfume. It costs like $40,000 to get that bottle.
Yeah.
Some people just bought the empty bottle for collectors, but people get collection. Actually, when they launched Chanel number 5, what made it famous is when, oh my God, the one Andy Warhol did a spotlight on Marilyn Monroe, and he asked to her for a film they were doing to the soldiers that were on war. It says, what are you wearing when you're going to sleep? 2 drops of Chanel number 5. And that's how Chanel number 5 became one of the brands that every lady want as a gift for their boyfriend. It's extremely expensive. I don't use Chanel number 5. I use another perfume from a Japanese designer, and I've been using the same one for like the last 20 years, 27 years. Boring. I don't change my perfume. Now, why is the name Chanel number 5 and not Chanel number 2?
I know that one.
Okay, tell it.
Because number 5, it was her lucky number.
And beside that, believe it or not, she was the one who worked on the design of the perfume. And actually, she was involved on the process on the flowers and elements that she liked the most. And number 5 was the last version that she approved, and that is the version number 5 of the perfume that she designed. Another version is the version that you says that number 5 was her lucky number. I guess we need a medium to talk to Coco to know what is the real reason. We don't know yet. So Coco Chanel revolutionized the way the women dress and the women interact. First of all, she implemented that women can use pants. Actually, when she was 26 years old, she was the mistress. There is a phrase that I hear in a documentary that it's not nice, but actually it's true. Always a mistress, never a wife. So she was with one of the first lover who introduced her to the Parisian and the French society. And he was really avid to the horse races. Actually, he raced horses to be in races. So when she was 26 years old, she went with him to one of the horse races in 1909, 1 year before she opened her first hat shop. And she went to his closet and she dressed like a man. And everybody was like, oh my God, this woman is wearing men clothing. And she imposed that women can be elegant and being dressed in pants. Other thing is the sailor style, like the t-shirt with the stripes and the sailor style for women. I have sailor clothing like blue jacket with white, the white Chanel and white and stripes, or orange jacket with a stripe. Well, it was Coco Chanel what introduced that to the market. Another thing that people don't know, Coco Chanel introduced that when you're wearing a big jacket, you can cross the jacket and use a belt. Most of the jacket on the suits that she designed, there are like oversized, and that happened with Karl Lagerfeld get on 1983 to Chanel, that get the oversized with the big pot shoulders. You're too young, maybe you don't remember, but on the 80s,
I saw it.
I was all enough to wearing that, and I remember using a belt. And I still today, sometimes I get jacket that are a little bigger than my size, and I use a big thick belt. I love how they look. Actually, Diane Keaton, the actress, is really well known for using that style of clothing that is accredited to Coco Chanel. Another thing that she bring to that era from the beginning of 1900 is the combination of texture. She did the first suit then on quilt, like quilt and wool. And another thing, she started using jersey. Jersey was considered used by the maid or the people who was low class. And she actually find out a way to make jersey look elegant and look well known. Another thing that Coco Chanel incorporate, well, we says the little black dress. Most people doesn't know, but the introduction for Coco Chanel and the Chanel brand to the American market was through Breakfast in Tiffany. She was shown the design for the clothing for Audrey Hepburn when they were doing Breakfast in Tiffany. And she says, a woman who represent who she want to represent never want to be wearing the clothing that you designed. And she redesigned all the clothing. And that's how Coco Chanel becomes so well known on United States. And that's how the brand was introduced. Elba, I'm taking all the because I'm getting really excited with Coco Chanel. So please interrupt me if you have anything else to say that I'm missing.
Well, yeah, I have. I was waiting to finish this slide, but yeah, I have one thing. In the 1940s, when the war started and everything, women start doing the job of a man.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to factories and everything. And even though in that time she had like, you know what, these women doesn't have the clothes for working. The clothes are comfortable. The clothes are like doesn't match with the work. So in that time, even though she created a collection for women to use at work, so that woman was like, wow.
That's when she incorporated the pants because says how a woman is going to be working in a factory with those pencil skirt that they look amazing. But believe me, I cannot bend to pick up my keys when I wear my pencil skirt. So how you want to be working on the factory? That's when the pants were so accepted in society. Like you says, when the World War II, when the men need to go to work and women start working in factory, they need to adapt not only the assembly lines, they need to adapt the clothing they were using. So believe it or not, every chain of history has to do with the pre or post-war. Clothing and fashion has to do with that too.
Yeah.
One of the things that I love about Chanel is that she invented the two-color shoes. So I don't know anyone who doesn't have a two-color shoes. Maybe it's not Chanel, but a lot of brands have it. I have two-color shoes and like, I don't know, fuchsia and green. Or sometimes, you know what I do? I need to confess, I do my own. I put a tape. When I found a shoes that I'm like, oh my God, this shoes will be work perfect in two colors. What I do is I put a painter's tape. I paint the front of the shoes. And after that, I put a piece of string on top. So if the line doesn't get perfect, and I have people says like, oh my God, I have the same shoes, but they didn't come with that point. I didn't say, but I do it myself. Now I found a shoe place, repair place here that they do it for me. But a long time ago, when I was started and I want to have shoes that look like Chanel, I used to do it by myself.
That's great. Well, I don't have the Chanels, but I use shoes that are in two colors. And you know me, are my Converse. So yeah, they're not Chanel, but yeah, it's the same.
You paint your Converse two colors?
No. I have my Converse. No. You know, my Converse are my treasure. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a weakness for shoes. Elva have a weakness for Converse. Another thing that was incorporated, the two-color jacket, but you can see the pencil skirts They were not tied to the body. They give freedom to women. Another thing that Coco did every time that she was uh, getting a collection done, she saw the dresses and the suits
Yeah.
on the model body. So she
Yeah.
asked for the model to move when she was preparing the dresses of the suit, because I want you to move like natural you want to move, because when you move, I don't want you to look like a mannequin. So when people is wearing my clothing, they can feel that it's clothing they can use from every day. That's one of the revolution, and that's what the good point that Coco Chanel get to the market. Now, Coco Chanel was the only female designer that start her company as a designing hats.
Mhm.
She evolved, that die being the CEO of the company without selling. All the
Yes.
other female designers on the world has sold their stocks and they sold their company. Coco Chanel used to love to have a lot of pearls, and
Yeah.
she was the first who says that it's better to have better accessories than uh, ones who doesn't look good. And she was the first one to incorporate the fake pearls on the design of the women inventory. They used to have like one little pearl necklace, like really little and real pearls. And she says like, why they need to be real? What is the difference between being real and not being real? So now we're going to go with most people is waiting for, so we don't spook our audience. So let's go to Coco Chanel face reading. And I did all the talking, so that is yours. I need water.
Okay, at this time in the 19th, she was like 18, 19 years old in this time. And there's something that came to my mind when I was watching the documentaries and reading and everything, that at that time she had two options: became a nun or live. And at that time she said like, I'm not made for being a nun. I want to live and go out to the world and work for the things that I want. That happened in this time. It's like,
Can we say
I
that it's the chin folds? Can
yes.
you tell us what that protruding chin means and what
Okay.
women with that chin? It's easy to see it in men, but it's more difficult to see that chin on women and such a young age, when she was an orphan since she was 12 years
Mhm.
old.
Yeah, she had her personal power. She never quit. She know what she wants to do and she go for it. So she looks like intimidating, but she never surrender easily. So it's like, I wanna go out, I wanna do my things, I wanna make my own career, and she go for it. So that's the pretend chin.
Yeah, she learned to sew on the convent that she was dropped. There were,
Mhm.
I think, there were four brothers and two sisters.
Yeah,
The
for
two
birth.
When her mother died, the father dropped the two sisters on the convent, on the orphan, and
Hmm.
the four two boys. Now I have a brain fart on farm to
Hmm.
make a career, but she always was following her sister, and she learned how to sew when she was in the convent, and that was the first work she got. Another thing is, for a person who was raised in a convent and was her mother died and abandoned by her father, who she never saw again. Even
No.
when she became famous, the father never went to approach to her. She have an optimistic nose.
Yes, she was spontaneous. She was the kind of person that, you know what, even though things cannot happen or things cannot go with the way, for me, things are going to work.
And I would resume that she have a protein gene. She doesn't have any either upper or lower lips. She have a really thin mouth. She have the kind of nose who made it to become what she was. Why? Because from the 17 until the age 26,
Mhm.
every day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., she was sewing dresses. So even though she didn't like what she was doing, that is the kind of nose you want with something need to get done. Doesn't matter if the person like it or not like it. That is the kind of nose that is going to keep doing every day the same. They're going to be meticulous and they're going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And another thing, she used to have thick eyebrows, meaning that she was like a bulldog between the chin and the eyebrows. She was like a bulldog, and that nose is what make her like, I, even though I need to sew every day. By the way, what the name Coco become her brand instead to Gabrielle? You know that? You want to say it?
I know that.
Yeah, because I took all this story. I'm sorry. I'm really passionate about Coco Chanel.
No, no, no. It's like when she start going out with officers, she go to the musical, and she like it, and she became acting on the musical. But she just know two songs. I don't remember the name because they were on French, but the two songs have at the end Coco. So they call her like the little Coco, and that's how she has her
Actually,
name.
her first lover, the now I forgot the name. You remember Cobble?
Hi, I have it.
Yeah. With the first lover, I'm sure Anne is gonna like the first lover she have. That the one who she met when she was singing at night on bars is the one who says when they get introduced and says, "My name is Gabrielle." Like, no, you're Coco, because that's the thing that she sang. She sang with her sister. So that's how she get her nickname Coco. And when Arthur Capel and her become lovers, she says, "You're Coco Chanel," and that's how the name Coco Chanel. Gabrielle Chanel, I don't know if it would sound the same way.
And no, I like. One more thing in this picture, you can see the proxemic.
Yeah, it was low.
No, because we are going to see in the years uh, one that one of the things that come to my mom and spot me.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything because I'm sure you was spotted. I was like waiting and leaving this like she's gonna talk about the proxemic. I don't wanna spot it. And when we talk about proxemic is she was 17, she was leaving the convent. She need to realize what to do with life and she want to have a better life. So she need to be really friendly and approaching people. So it has to do with the proxemic. But when she died, if you look for the proxemic before and after, you're going to be like mind blowing. And by the way, I have my cat to just come to the scene looking for candies. Like they're too far away. I cannot do that not right now. Wait for it. This is 20 years later. This is when she was 37. What are the things that we can see that change or are the same?
You see the eyebrows. It's like for me the eyebrows, and in this time she had a really low proxemic. The eyebrows and the mouth, the the lower lip. She became more like talking about now how she feels is how things are going from the
At this
outside.
point, Arthur Capel already died,
Hmm.
and she become more well spoken because she need to make the business. But her lower lip, you're gonna see in the next picture they're coming, they're gonna be getting thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner. She left aside her personal life completely. She never have a life outside the couture studio that she have. And by the way, another secret, she have this studio in Paris where you have this amazing staircase with mirrors, and she always was hiding. And the reason they have the mirrors, so she can hide on the top stair of the stairs and watching the models and watching the reaction of the people. But she was hiding. She was never sitting between the people or like most people. Balsan, I knew Anne is gonna be doing that. Thank you. Balsan was the ones who put Coco as a nickname. Thank you, Anne. Appreciate it. So, what are the other things that you see? It can be the angle of this picture, but it's something that worries me on the eyes. And my cat is driving me crazy. He's scratching my pants.
Oh no. He
Dude,
wants his candy.
it's life.
Yeah.
So tell me about the eyes, and I'm gonna give my cats my candy because they're gonna drive me crazy.
Yeah. Okay. If you can see the picture and you can see the eyes in the lower part, they're showing a white part, make her like being disconnect of reality. So maybe it can be the angle of the picture, but that show us that she was stressed and disconnect from reality.
Because again, uh, we need to understand that this woman came from nothing,
Mhm.
and even though there were a lot of versions of her story, you
Mhm.
never can criticize anyone for good or for bad until you are not on their shoes. But she lost the love of her life. She lost her mom. She was an orphan. Her sister got married and left her. And the only thing she had to connect was her art, the
Mhm.
pieces of art. Some historian says that she wouldn't have been the person that she become if so much pain wouldn't happen.
Mhm.
Uh, okay, we have comments about why my mouse is lost. Perry says, look like she have access her on Iris from the peak where she was 37. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She
Yes.
was really good spotting people. Elba?
Yeah, she was really good looking at people, reading people. So yeah. And you know what? There's another thing that didn't change and make her like the way she was, the protruding chin. Because you can see maybe the picture has a little like shadow, but that's not a critical line. That's the protruding chin.
Yeah. Ruth says, so interesting. And Ruth says, white is showing under the eye. Oh, we have recurrent customers here. You
Yes.
see it. Like, yeah, that's what we were saying. Um, Under a lot of stress. And that is the next class that we are preparing. And that's what we did the intro yesterday with complicated personalities and about the eyebrows. That is going to be the intro for the next class. And one of the things that we talk is why all the levels of the stress and everything who has to do with the stressors and complicated personalities happen between the eyebrows and the eyes. Actually, it's like 6 hours of class of watching eyes. So
Mhm.
that is what's so important. If I need to choose one part of the face that I need to see, which one is going to be yours, Elba?
Eyebrows. The part of the
Mine,
eyebrows. Yeah.
mine is going to be eyes. The
Yeah.
second one is going to be forehead and ears.
Mine is ears. Yeah.
Yeah, because how I need to talk to you. Anything else you want to point here, or you want to go to the next
No, I
picture?
want to go to the next one because we're going to start seeing the changes.
Okay, so we have 20 years of different. We see the thick eyebrows and we see the low proxemic.
Mhm.
Now in this picture, she is 57. She died when she was 81. At the age of 57, she already become Coco Chanel. She become
Mhm.
really well known. This is when the word start, is when she was implementing and incorporating the pants and designing clothing for women award. What are the most significant things? Like, you see the tip of the nose, how it changed?
Yeah. She became
Remember
more
that we show in the beginning the nose that it was like tip
up.
up.
Mhm.
Now we can see, and it's not the angle of the picture, the tip of the nose changed. What it meant.
The tip of the nose changed. She became more creative. She had that creativity to make things different.
But she didn't trust anyone either.
Yeah. So you have
Uh,
to show. If you talk to her, it's like, let's see what's going to happen because I don't trust at the first time.
Remember when we talk about what happened with the upper lip that were
Oh,
disappearing more and more?
yes.
It's
No
like
food stocking.
I want to show the picture before. she have a cupid bow, meaning
Mm-hmm.
cupid bow is when the lip is well defined and you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have like a V shape on top of the lip. And as you can see, I paint my mouth and on a cupid bow because I have a deep cupid bow, and she had it on the 20s, but on the 40s she have a cupid bow with a thin eye
No.
lip. But on the 40s, she doesn't have a cupid bow. She doesn't have any lip. She was completely detached from her feelings. But
Mm-hmm.
something that never changed, and it become bigger and bigger what it is.
Her chin. Yes. It's like, and it became more straight.
Become straight and bigger. And another thing, what happened with the jewels?
Oh my God, she became a woman that everyone pay attention to her.
They say when she says, "Shush, I'm talking," people was peeing themselves.
Uh-huh.
Like she
Uh-huh.
was the kind of woman. She wasn't too high. I don't know. I think it was 5'6", but she was really skinny. Always was skinny. But when
Yeah,
she walked in the atelier, that like people, the seamstress, like lowered their head because she was a person that
has
get the
authority.
attention. So Anne
Mm-hmm.
says, Etienne Balsan, first lover. The second was Arthur Boy Capel. Yeah, they call it Boy Capel. We call it Arthur Capel. It was easy. Capel saw in Coco her ability to business ambition, so he encouraged her to develop her interest, and she left Balsan. Actually, she was with Balsan and Capel. And
Yeah,
something that
both.
we didn't
Uh-huh.
do really deep, actually, Balsan and Capel both put
Uh-huh.
money to open the first hat store in
Mhm.
1910.
Yes, yes.
So she was kind of naughty. But Balsan offered to marry her even though he was a playboy, because he says Kapal is gonna get him married for money because he was engaged with a woman with a lot of power, and she accepted. She didn't have any problem. Like
No.
100 years later, we're still pointing fingers. She did it 100 years before. Like, hello, lady.
Oh, yeah.
She have balls. So her jaws become bigger. Again, can you repeat what is when you have jaws, and jaws are this part of the face?
Yeah, they have authority. When she talks, everyone just close their mouths because she had authority when she talks. Everyone pay attention to her when she were talking.
Another thing,
Oh yeah.
we start having like the eyelids start having a little show eyelids, meaning that she wasn't too clingy. She liked to be around people, her people, but she needed space for herself. She have
Mm-hmm.
a secluded apartment where like she worked all day, and at the end of the day she was hiding in the apartment. She
Mm-hmm.
wasn't too much socialized. When she get to the point of her career that she won, she withdraw most of the social life. And
Mm-hmm.
another thing that changed, she become hyper super perfectionist. How we
Yes.
know that?
For the eyebrows, the thin of the eyebrows, the amount of her eyebrows were thin.
Let's see the picture before so people can understand. Do you see the amount of eyebrows she had?
Mhm. No, she became more perfectionist. She became start having her standards higher.
Yep. And the proxemic change. She
Oh yeah.
went from really friendly to putting people at distance to her. I always says, in my face, talk to the pound.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the way that you can measure the proxemic for her. Um, and yeah, even though she have thin eyebrows, they start and end on the same length. They're really perfect because she was a perfectionist. But if you can see a little, the proxemics a little higher on the business side, and that was really interesting to see because I was expecting more higher proxemic on the personal side. But who knows who she was in bed with at that point?
That's another thing.
That's another thing. She wasn't a boring woman. Another thing that never changed. What is this 40-degree angle? What do you mean?
The warrior chicks. She always fight for the things that she want.
She was a truly, truly fighter. And again, you can agree or disagree, but she never took a no for an answer, and she did everything needed to get what she needed to get done.
She never quit.
She never quit. This is 1 year before she died. And I'm going to show something with the eyebrows. You can see the eyebrows are more like pointy straight.
Uh-huh.
Like, I need information, I need facts and data. This is working, this is not working, the aesthetics. Now, when she died,
Change a
her
lot.
eyebrows changed completely. Her proxemic went higher. Like, it's amazing. You can fit 3 fingers on her proxemic. But what happened with her eyebrows?
Oh, she became more people oriented. She became more liking the story of the thing.
We have a interaction on the microphone. I don't know if it's yours or mine. Put and mute your microphone for a second. Yeah, you have an echo. Something is interfering with your microphone. Put it back.
Okay. Now it's better?
It still sound. I don't know if people can hear you. I'm sorry to interrupt, but it happened before in my mic, in my side. So what happened with the eyebrows? There were like from pointy straight eyebrows to completely round. What do you mean?
That means that she became more people oriented. She became more like, I want the story. Tell me the story. Tell me why you, for example, why you use the dress that I made. Tell me the story. Tell me why. So she became more like uh, being connected with people by on a personal level.
Yeah. Perry, it says we getting. Yes, we are getting some feedback on the Facebook stream. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a sound. I apologize. Sometimes, like somebody just have turned on the radio and AM, and sometimes it's cut it by the microphone. Remember when I was talking like a truck driver, and I did all the live that way. So it's weird, and it's really interesting that she was covered her forehead, showing, not showing. Actually, she didn't never show too much her forehead. She was playing dumb, and how she get where she get, because being a lady sometimes is easy to play dumb. But she died covering her forehead. Another thing, it's an incongruency between the eyebrows and the proxemic, and it's fascinating me.
Yeah.
And if I have the chance to talk to her, she always covered her earlobes. So we don't know how pragmatical she was. Her proxemic, she didn't have any eyelids.
No, at that time, no. And you know what? Another thing, the nose.
Yep, the nose become bigger.
Yes. That's another change that was like, wow.
Who can see any upper lip in this picture? Again, this was 1 year before she died.
No.
She didn't have a personal life, but I do believe that she become more involved on the people who was on her life at the end. She keep it on distance. What happened when we have a high proxemic and round eyebrows? It's not meaning that the person is not gonna incorporate you on their life. They want to hear your story. They want to hear the why, their interest, and a lot of cost. But what happened? There doesn't mean that because they listen to you, they're gonna incorporate in you to their life in like 2 seconds. They're gonna take their time to do it, but doesn't mean they're not interested about you. Because the nose change, the nostrils change, and the white of the nose change. What do you mean? That is coherence with the round eyebrows. What happened when the people have wide nose?
They are just your support. umbrella because they are going to support you. They are going to care for you. And you know what? I don't know because there's many stories about her and historians and things, and they talk about she had a nephew, and she became like closer to her, and she enjoyed that time with her.
Elba, we are having a lot of interference with your mic. Like a lot. I barely can hear you. You put it in mute now. Can you connect it, disconnect it from the computer to see what happened?
Yeah.
That's, guys, that's what happened when you have a live.
Oh, you can hear me now.
Yeah, but I still hear like a pointing sound, like a key. Okay. We lost Elba. I'm sorry, my fault. I asked it to connect and disconnect. Anyway, we're going back to her nose. When you have a whited nose on the bottom, like where the nostrils are located, is a person who take care of other people. When she died, remember, she never married, she never had kids. So I assume at the age of 80, when she was near to the end, we have two ways to have family. We have the family that life gives us, and the family that we choose. There are rumors who says that she started incorporating people on her family, and she started determine who is going to be getting in each of the roles of following the Chanel house. But again, you can see the 40-degree angles. Now I hear you perfect, Elba. Thank you. I was talking about, I already talked about the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the 40-degree angles, how deeper they get it and how depleted, and the lips and the mouth become smaller.
Yeah, they become smaller. They talk just the things that she needs to talk. She start putting like, let people talk, and she knows where and how to talk and to whom. And the operative disappears, so that we talked before. And the cheeks, they were like she became like a fighter in a more intense way.
Well, she always was intense.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's something this lady always was, intense. So the before and after, 1920s to 1970s. Perry says, did the ball of the tip of her nose get bigger? Yeah, it get bigger. As soon as she was growing on her career as a designer and become a better and better designer, the tip of the nose become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. She have a lot of things that show creativity on her face. So we're talking about 1920s to 1970. There are 50 years difference, but there are things that become more and more close. And one of the things that even in 1920s, her nose, from 19 when she was 17 to 37, you can see how the nose changed. Remember? That's the reason we says pay attention to certain things that change. You can see the cupid bow on the upper lip. She died not to having any connection with her emotional side. None. It's like didn't exist.
No, she didn't talk about her feelings. Mm-mm.
No, nothing. And another thing that happened, her eyelids disappear. People confuse in this picture because it's a lot of distance between what it should be the eyelids with the eyebrows. But what happened is the proxemic is too high. The people confused that she had an eyelid, but she didn't.
No, she didn't have it.
She was laser focused, and actually, she launched a collection just a little before she died.
Yeah, she needs her space. Like, I need my space. I cannot deal with too much people around me.
Nope. So the before and after, we present today the story about Coco Chanel, Gabrielle Coco Chanel. Starting April 2, we're going to do only lives on Fridays at 4:05. Sorry, guys, we are going crazy. We have a tremendous amount of training and students and classes that we are developing. So we are burned out. So instead to be canceling or moving the live like we did today, we're going to be doing it on Fridays. Remember, if you don't want to miss any of the events, I would say register to our YouTube channel. Is the simple way, no emails, no nothing. Just register on your YouTube channel. If you want to learn any of the witchcraft that we are talking on the lives, you can go to humanbehaviorhackerschool.com. That's where we have all the webinars pre-recorded on demand, evergreen. So if you don't have the chance to be there, and if you don't want to miss the next webinars that we're doing, you can go to humanbehaviorlab.com/webinar. And since you're there, you can take a look and browse on the website and see what we're coming next. And talking about next, we're talking about eyelids. April 6th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to talk about face reading profiling intro 3. We're going to talk about intimacy levels, stress levels, combination, how we need to be approached in a live webinar. And the reason we're doing this like 90-minute webinars is because people either cannot or don't want to take the 5 levels. There are like, I was taking a number, it's around like 48 hours of like intense classes, and these are 90 minutes. So you want to know the level of intimacy of someone, you want to know how the person processes information. So you can take these mini webinars, and that way you can go directly what you need. Believe me, those mini webinars, we have been doing it for 2 months, and people, it's going ballistic because it's like, okay, great. I don't need to go for all over the place. And Perry says, thank you for the face reading and fashion trivia. Can't wait to impress some of the fashionistas friends with the 2.55 fact. Dude, believe me, I told you, when this pandemic is lifted out and I can go to London again, by the way, I just registered in Cambridge to take another class. So I'm going to need to be going to UK. It's a class is for 2 years. So I'm going to need to go. I'm going to bet you we are going to go to the bars and we're going to drink for free. Doesn't sound good, but yeah, it's part of the fun. So this is us, Elva. If people want to talk to you, where they can find you on Spanish? She is the CEO of our office on Latin America, and she manages Spain too.
Okay, you can go with elva.humanbehaviorlab.com.
And if you want to talk about English speaking, even though I have a huge accent, I've been taking a class this week that finished today, and I've been waking 6 o'clock in the morning for the time change. Like, oh my God, kill me. I just want to go to sleep and still need to work. You can contact me to Susan@humanbehaviorlab.com. Thank you very much for all the people who write to us after the lives. It's been our pleasure. I love that we can give you information that maybe you didn't know about Coco Chanel, or maybe about face reading, or about people who make our history. The idea is to have fun together. And believe it or not, we put a lot of work to give you the right information. Ruth says, happy St. Patrick's Day. Oh my God, I forgot.
Me too.
I forgot. I should check on the TV to see if they dyed the lake on green in Chicago. I'm sure they did, and I miss it. Yeah, last year I didn't went to St. Patrick because can you believe it? There has been already 13 months since we are in the pandemic.
Yes.
Actually, a year ago, I should have been on Guatemala, open the new office. We opened it anyway, but I wasn't allowed to travel. I cannot believe we have been in this situation for a year. And then that's the reason the lives start, to give you something different to do, something fun to pay attention to. So thank you very much for being in the other side. And thank you, Elva and Anne, always for being as crazy as I am and follow the craziness. And let's have pearls.
Yes.
Elva, see you Friday.
Yes, see you on Friday.
We're gonna tell. I'm still doubting about the topic on Friday.
Uh,
Maybe we can make people vote between Napoleon effect or Tom Brady. Who you want us to read? Leave the comments below. And we have a meeting tomorrow to decide if we're gonna read the face of Tom Brady,
Quarterback
the quarterback. Thank you.
of the Buccaneers. Yeah.
Zero sport quarterback. Or we're gonna talk about the Napoleon effect. Anyway, this is your space. Tell us what to do. Hey, Elizabeth, you came late to the party. Guess you didn't see my answer about the 255 and the reason for the Chanel 5. It was because at the horse race, it was the number 5 of the jockey jersey won. Who won? I didn't see your answers. I don't know why. Tom Brady. Okay, personal crush. I don't know why I didn't see the answers. My apologies.
I saw it too.
Jennifer says Napoleon effect. Okay. I was here in Facebook. I don't know what the comments doesn't show up. Again, we use StreamYard and it's supposed to show it. My apologies, Elizabeth, but for the ones who didn't know, get it there. So we have Tom Brady and Napoleon effect. We have head-to-head
1-1
on the race. So let's see what the rest of the people says. People, see you Friday 4:05 p.m. I cannot wait to see you again. Thank you for being there. Bye, Elba.
Bye.